Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack here, and today I want to show you a couple of articles starting with this. This is from 2017, The Outsider's Guide to Colombian Feminism. So, of course, it's written by a feminist. My name is Eliza, and welcome to In Locomotion. Here is what I brought about intersection of travel with social justice, sustainability, human rights, and more. So it's crap. I know this is crap, but I need you to understand you what are the consequences. For example, in Colombia, this ideology, feminism, hit with the premise of empowerment of women. And you have, for example, in 2017, on March 8th, like the day they decided to take, they just supposedly do this peaceful march, but they end up destroying public property and private property. Especially what gets me the most is private property. So you see in this image how they are in this nonsense. For example, let's read this paragraph. Although it's a day of celebration of the accomplishments and triumphs of women worldwide, International Women's Day is also a day in which we can analyze the inequalities that exist for women around the world. So you already know why this started to be fucking nonsense. And mobilize in attempt to raise awareness and bridge to those inequalities. When they will realize inequality will always exist. Like inequality of rights doesn't compare to inequality of income and equity. Like, man, they want privilege and slavery. I'm going to I'm going to explain you why this. So you have these groups proclaiming like we want our empowerment, and you know what I used to. So let's say so this is in 2021. They are organizing moving for organized for change in Colombia. So this group they call themselves sorry, estamos listas or we are ready, supports feminist candidates for public office and is taking action to end violence against women in Colombia, which it doesn't. It didn't end any of that. Even worse, they now attack men, and the violence that they so proclaiming, they just keep doing it. So it's just fucking nonsense. So when these feminist groups start to gain power because people allow it with because they don't want to be labeled as misogynist. And that's the thing. It's like with the red communism in Russia during the Soviet Union. When someone mentioned, hey, this is going to hurt us, this will end our lives, like with these foreign policies. And then when someone actually is criticizing objectively what is going on, what the results of doing that within their close ones, when they are so indoctrinated in believing in the government, do you know how to respond? They say, so you are a traitor, and they end your life. And with this feminist, it's the same agenda. If someone is against their stupid demands and their stupid ideology that preach with hate towards men, towards society, towards what constitutional with society to be stable at certain point. You say, oh, you are against this, you are a misogynist. And the sad reality people lost the balls to fight this. They lost it. And you have this. Next article. A feminist peace in Colombia. Analysis the inclusion of a gender perspective in the Colombia's peace agreement, past, present, and future. So they just talking about in the past, and then how are we oppressed, and then how are in the future, and you end up with articles like this: how Colombian feminism decriminalized abortion with help from their neighbors. As the United States faces growing restrictions on abortion, activists in Latin America are increasingly relying on one another to knock down barriers in the region. So you are praising Colombia and Latin America for killing babies, for killing humans. Oh, it's in a just little state of station. Is not. No, yes, it's human. It's already thinking. It has a conscious. It's not fully developed, but it already has and is human. In human laws, if you kill someone, you go to jail. So decriminalizing this, and look at this, more derangement. This is from 2023. Well, sorry, no, sorry, 2022, February 23. Abortion supporters celebrated on Monday in front of Colombia Constitutional Court in Bogota during the ruling in favor of decriminalizing abortion in the first 24 weeks of pregnancy. So they are just celebrating killing babies. Uh, so decades of grassroots organizing with meetings in living rooms in the streets, online and across borders have produced a tectonic shift in abortion in Latin America, an historically conservative region where access to procedure has long been severely limited. I'm going to say it like this. If there is a risk for the woman to actually have the baby and make it born, by that mean you should decide if you want to risk having a possibly baby born without life or your life itself. That's the only way I see this actually working. In other way, when they mention that fucking nonsense of we are enslaved or reproductive, you're not. If you're talking about how in these third world countries when they just keep reproducing like cockroaches because women open the legs to this means that actually you are supposed to fight it but you just end up open the legs and trade it wisely and you receive the seed of Tyrone or whatever version of Tyrone is in your country. So you have this article like celebrating killing babies. But what they don't talk to you is like, example, this article I saw, Colombian mother sell, well, not, she didn't sell, she ran her 8-year-old daughter and performed an abortion on her. So actual trafficking of his her own daughter by her mother. That's what I need to clear this. So yeah, this is it happened in Medellin, and yeah, well, the article correct me. A girl was sold into the deal slavery for years by both her mother, Maria Elsie Cuadros, and her stepfather, Juan Pablo Perez. These women, when they just abandon the guy, they don't try to make function this marriage anymore. Then they go to Tyrone, the kind stepfather, and then you have this. A life was destroyed, And of course, this fucking group celebrating killing babies, they turn a blind eye on this. Now, this is not only about Colombia. Let's start with Spain too. Like how in these quotes, Spanish feminists' own history makes it ahead of this time. So this website, it's so far in the woke left mentality. So you will get some of the words are right in here. So El País talks to author Nuria Varela about the gains made by women's movement in Spain in the fourth generation of feminists who are now leading the fight for greater rights. Greater rights. Keep that in mind for the next article. And I'm going to read this for you. When Spanish author Nuria Varela wrote her book Feminismo para Principiantes, dude, I prefer coding C sharp, C++ for dummies because I want to learn that. Or mechanic for dummies because if I ever get the chance to get a car, I want to know how to repair it because they keep pushing for the anti-repairman mentality with these new cars. This is peak of clan world. Well, this is not the peak. We are almost reaching what it is. Let's see. Almost nobody was talking about the issue. More than 50, 50,000 copies of the books have been sold since then, and now, 15 years later, amid an unprecedented wave of feminism, Valera has published its following Feminismo 4.0. So, feminism, the fourth wave. So, they, like, this keeps in the article, they just keep talking about equality. Oh man, look at this. The journalist Humberto was the first cabinet director of Spain's first equality ministry, which was created in 2008 under the Socialist Party (PCOE). The Socialists funded this. And you know what is the result of going to this? The Spanish government legalized bestiality and imposed prison for injuring a rat. And I'm not making this up. They legalize bestiality in a way only women can actually use it, through dogs. And I'm not making this up. Through dogs. And maybe horses, if they have that. And you know what? Rats are a pest. They carry very dangerous sicknesses. And then you have results like this. Or even here, look, last Thursday the Spanish parliament approved two bills promoted by the government and with a strong animalist ideology charge. That, if I remember correctly, the United Nations, UN, is backing up these bestiality laws. They are backing up by animalist groups funded by the UN. So keep that in mind. And then you have it, the two animal rights bills approved on Thursday. And then you have this. The Article 41 on the trans law, the new gift of the Spanish left wing for struggle snuggers. And of course, let's go on to read that. Spain, the crazy Article 19 of the trans law and the irreversible damage will cause to children. Of course, we're going to check that out. This is the Article 41. So it allows changing the registered gender without crediting the change in any way. The law approved yesterday, and this article is from, well, 23 of December of 2022. So the law approved yesterday, you can read the full text. It provides that anyone may modify the gender that appears in the census record to adapt it to what they call their gender identity. Then in that Article 3 of that law defines as follows internal and individual experience of sex as each person feels and self defines it and may or may not correspond to sex assigned at birth. This is the accomplishment of feminism. And of course, it's by socialist, it's by left wing. And then you have this the Article 19 of the trans law and irreversible damage it will cause to children. So let's check this. Children as young as 12 may request that their genitals be destroyed. And this, I'm not making this up. They are making easy for children to mutilate their bodies. Again, by feminism. And what's funny is how even mainstream media, even big tech, are just colluding into allowing this and trying to silence you and even that misinform you with this fact like this. If I search bestiality legalized in Spain in the Brave's search engine, look at this fact check. No, Spain has not legalized bestiality, sorry. And this is the fear article, the first one. The fact that Google is the biggest censor platform and is the most used, it shows you more articles than this because of course they are being bought. And they make treats with DuckDuckGo. And for last, Mexico have the same thing. They already approved this. They already approved this, and now the most conservative politicians that are still in the country are fighting back this. For example, the PNA. They're going to criminalize these gender surgeries and throw these fuckers in jail. And of course, l- let's start with this article from La Resistencia when it comes to Mexico. National Institute for Women on Protected Life is a big step. And then, yeah, like these controversial statements were published by the official Instagram account, hash, in Mujeres, in a recent post where the decision of the Supreme Court Justice of Mexico declared the protection of life from consensual invalid thus established by the Constitution of Veracruz. Ah, yeah, Veracruz, that state in Mexico where his governor, ex-governor, money laundering all the money, people's money, and then get out there and then they left the state in a ruin. He dry up all the money of the people of this or their citizens, and then unanimously the judge of the East CGN declared invalidity and declared the invalidity of the Article 4 of the state constitution, which establishes that the state will guarantee the right to life of the human being from the moment of conception until natural death, as well essential to support the exercise of other rights. Specifically, it was affirmed that in order to guarantee the fundamental right of women abortion. Again, look what feminism preach hate, preach death. Again, it's agenda. It's a fucking agenda. And you know why it's a fucking agenda? Because Mexico already admitted with the 2030 agenda. So yeah, what have in common these countries? Feminism is funded by the 2030 agenda, and that's from the World Economic Forum. And look at this. According to the official site of United Nations Mexico, the UN is currently carrying out 238 projects considered as key pieces for the achievement of its agenda. If we do a brief review, in 2020, the UN promoted 197 projects and 204 last year. In fact, 98 projects are already planned for 2023, 76 for 2024, and 51 for 2025. Regarding this year, the available budget is, look at this, 85 900,000 millions, and it's assigned and followers for each of the 17 objectives. So, end poverty, we are more poverty now. Zero hunger, we are more hunger than now. Health and well-being, we are more, well, we are almost at the brink of death at this point, especially with the policy of treating everyone's sicknesses, putting them aside just to treat COVID 100%, and you end up with tons of dead people. Quality education. If quality education means training kids to join the cartels, oh man, you are doing an excellent job since 30 fucking years. And this is go both sides, like Colombia have the same problem. Gender equality. Now you know this is money laundering at this point. Clean water and sanitation. You're fucking lying. And look the the budget for that. Affordable and clean energy. Well, at least you actually acknowledge that fucking shit doesn't work. Well, maybe I'm just trying to be optimistic about you. Decent work and economic growth. The inflation is have the people on the ropes. Industry innovation and infrastructure. There is none, and you look reduction on inequalities, how much money, sustainable cities and communities. This fucking nonsense, like communism, like you are splitting your wealth to others that you have a chance or no, they don't deserve it. And this is this is what at the end now all more conservatives are fighting back, and I hope people fight back this because look, the another PNL deputy will present a tier position in this prison initiative for adults that promote gender change in minors. And you know what? Let's read this quickly. An adult who thinks of manipulating, influencing, motivating, or forcing a child undergo to a gender change will go to jail. He will have criminal consequences. There will be punishment, and poor for those who don't not accept it, not with the kids. And actually, I wanted to read this. Castell added, we must be brave for the biological men who are trans people today and who intended to change the life of us, the real woman. So, yeah, you know they are feminism, but of course they are the label TERFs that they call it now. So, we're going to stop this perverse ideology of Lopez Obrador and Morena, yeah, the current president and the political party from socialists who actually have the more power right now in Mexico, and their progressive reforms of substantive equality that plans to harm children, women, families, and religion. We are not going to allow them to continue damaging the most important thing in Mexico, which is the family. I absolutely agree. In addition, the deputy requested that any adult who directly or indirectly impose their personal gender preference on children be held responsible. The letter was pronounced by her via Twitter, accompanying her words along with a reel where an LGBT deal show this show is shown with the presence of minors. So yeah, it's occurring in Mexico, of course. From this to this, from this to all of this, and this, and this, and then this. What evidence do you need more to realize feminism is just a ideology designed not only to hurt women, hurt society into a very degenerate subversion. That's that's all everything I needed to say. So I hope this cover some of these facts when it comes to feminism. What they actually accomplish is just degeneracy. They self-proclaimed degeneracy that they are against it. So you find it very fucking hypocritical. So that's everything. I hope you have a great day.